I grew tired of dedicating hours upon hours just to keep the grass in check. But when I decided to get a decent quality lawnmower, I wasn't yet prepared to pay over $100 for one of the leading models. On the local ads, I managed to find the same mower for only $10. It was so cheap because both of the safety levers broke, so the motor wouldn't start anymore. Since it was only a 5-minute drive away, I contacted the seller and managed to pick it up the next day. Welcome to the Fixing Forge, where we are about to find out if we can fix this mower while saving a decent amount of money and if the time spent is worth the effort. The levers snapped inside of the case, so to repair or replace them, we need to open it up. A quick search of the model number reveals that the manufacturer was kind enough to publish technical drawings. Here is what the whole levers look like, and only 10 screws need to be removed to get to them. To make life easier, we detach the upper handlebar of the mower. With an electric screwdriver at hand, we make short work of the disassembly, keeping all the screws in a safe spot. A short safety notice. From this point on, we are dealing with uncovered AC wires. If you're not feeling safe or don't know what you're doing, please don't follow along. And under no circumstances plug it in until everything is put back together again. Here you can see how the safety mechanism works. For the mower to start, either of the levers needs to be held while the button in the middle is pushed, ensuring both hands are far away from the spinning blades. Once the levers are released, the mower stops immediately. Now, simply gluing the parts back together would not help because the forces are simply too strong for this bond, and it would break again on the same spot. But a whole lever will make modeling a replacement much easier. The goal in mind is to 3D print replacements for the levers. But don't worry, if you don't have access to a 3D printer or want to skip the modeling, an alternative will be presented later in this video. To sketch the shape of the lever, we need a template. For this, we could simply take a photo from far away and zoom in. Or even better, take a scan of it. This way we could avoid almost any perspective distortion. To get rid of the background, we use remove.bg. A low resolution is enough, so we can use the free download option without registration. The isolated image of the lever can now be imported into Fusion 360 as a canvas. To get it to display the right size, we use the calibrate option and take a measurement between two well-recognizable references. Now that this is done, we can start tracing the outline, beginning with the hole. Try to align the sketch to the photo as well as possible. Next, we are drawing all curves, followed by the straight lines to connect them. Dimensions relevant for the correct mechanical operation need to be measured. When everything is sketched out, we can turn off the canvas and bring our object to the third dimension. The overall thickness is 12 mm, so we extrude the main body to this amount. The two noses at the end of the levers interlock both of them and need to be extruded separately to match the original. For a nicer grip, the ridge of the levers get rounded over. Now let's try to improve the design. The point where the old levers broke is at this sharp angle. This is where most of the stress occurred when pushing too hard. We could round it over as well to give it more strength. The necessary space for this reinforcement might not be present yet, but we'll tackle this problem later. Some more roundovers improve the aesthetics. The last thing missing is this ledge that prevents the lever from slipping out of the encasing. Now we could stick to the original and hollow out the whole body, but this was mostly done due to the constraints of injection molding. The 3D printed part will be much stronger as a solid body. Moving on, we export the object as an STL file and continue in the slicer. For rigidity, we choose a profile with 0.2 mm layer height, lots of walls and printed lining on its side. Now either way up, one of the noses will be hanging in mid-air, so we need to put support underneath. Luckily, this is the only spot we needed. The preview shows support material and a decent infill with thick walls. Let's send it to the printer. To make the part plenty strong and durable outside, we choose PETG as the proper material. After removing the raft and support from the prints, both of our replacements are done. As anticipated, due to reinforcing the breaking point, the lever does not yet drop in its place. To give it a little extra wiggle room, we mark the tight spots that need a trim. With the right tool and a little force, the casing is quickly cut, manicured, and sealed with a short touch of a flame. Now it fits just fine, and after repeating these steps on both sides, the lever brothers have a new place to live and the mechanism works as intended. But we are not done yet. The same issue is also present on the upper shell. Good thing we are almost professionals at this now. Now it closes back up. To put it back together, we start by fiddling the metal rods back in place. Next, those screws we kept safe and sound pull the two halves together. Make sure no cables are hanging out, they could be squashed. The handlebar gets reattached to the rest of the mower. This would be a good moment to adjust the height of the handlebar to your liking. All set. Let's take it for a spin and see how it mows. Adjusting the altitude and starting the engine. We have liftoff. It runs perfectly. Now, what we actually did here was the repair of an essential safety feature of this lawnmower. Tinkering with those mechanisms should only be done if you know what you're doing and feel safe. There are many examples what happens when people disable these features and lose their limbs or worse. But fortunately, there is an alternative that can also be the solution if you don't want to design or 3D print the levers yourself. The manufacturer provides relatively cheap spare parts. We could have gone the easy route, swapped in the new parts and called it a day in 60-minute tops. But where's the fun in that? Nevertheless, by taking the cheapest price of a new mower of this kind and subtracting the cost of the spare parts, we still save a lot of money, which turns out to be a decent salary considering the time for the pickup and the repair of the mower. By 3D printing we could save even more money, but need to sacrifice at least another hour doing the modeling. You decide yourself if this is worth it to you. Either way, this repair is highly recommendable, even though it should only be done by someone knowing its ways around safety, regarding electricity and mechanics. In addition, we prevented a lot of electronic waste and emissions that would have gone into the manufacturing of a new device. If this inspired you and you feel safe, go try and fix some things around your home. If you still need a bit more motivation, go and watch how to repair a plush toy with a broken music box next. See you there!